Hello everyone, I'm Indu George, Assistant Professor from Albertian Institute of Management. Today, I'm here to discuss a very important topic as far as interpersonal communication is concerned, that is transactional analysis. So, transactional analysis is a way in which you try to understand how people behave with each other and you try to make that behavior better by understanding why these people behave like these. So this is actually something which is actually a theory or an approach which was proposed by Eric Berne in his book Games People Play. So when you speak about, let's now speak about transactional analysis. So transaction, this is actually a unit of social interaction. What do you mean by a unit of social interaction? Whenever there is a stimulus and a response, you talk about it as a transaction. When a person says hi, that is a stimulus. And when the other person responds hi, that is a response. So these together, a stimulus and a response together forms one unit of social interaction, and that is called a transaction. So in transactional analysis, one of the things that we will be doing is analyzing these social interactions. In transactional analysis, we are using different ways in which you can understand how the other person is behaving and how you need to respond. You also can understand why these people are behaving in this manner. So accordingly, you can change the way you respond to it. And when you are learning transactional analysis, as a person, you understand why you respond like this in certain situations. If it is not feasible, you can also try to change your behavior and have better way of interacting with others. So that is why we say this is a very important method to improve your interpersonal communication, because here it is all about understanding transactions, understanding why we are having those transactions, and making changes accordingly. So when you are speaking about it, we say that there are different pillars for transactional analysis. So we say that there are four pillars for transactional analysis. The first pillar is called the structural analysis. This is actually within the person. Structural analysis, something which happens within the person. The first pillar actually has two parts. First part of the pillar is called structural analysis. We will be going into details of structural analysis, which is within a person, shortly. The second part of the first pillar is called transactional analysis. So this is between two or more people. So structural analysis is within the person. Why do people behave in different situations in these manners? That is structural analysis. Transactional analysis is between, why do people behave with others in different manner? So transactional analysis, second part. So these two together forms the first pillar. The next pillar is actually called the game analysis. So it is said that you undergo or do a number of psychological games as you move through the day. So understanding these games so that you are able to respond to them in a better manner is what is done in game analysis. You are not talking about the physical games, you are speaking about the psychological games. Why do people play these games psychologically? What is the impact of these games on different people? And how can you get better response from others when these games are being played? The next is script analysis. So, this is to understand a person's life plan. It is said that the script analysis is something which is written by the age of 5. The script in which the person's life is going to be acted out in his whole life is already set within the first 5 years. So, understanding this life plan and making efforts to change those life plans is required is what is done in script analysis. So, you analyze the script You understand the different life positions, and then, if needed, you can change the script or lifespan by making changes in the way you respond to different situations. So, that is what happens in script analysis. And finally, we have strokes. Strokes is again, every a stroke is actually a unit of recognition. When you pat one person, when you appreciate another person, that is a unit of recognition or appreciation. So there are different types of strokes. So these are also very important to people, because strokes is something which every human being craves. Man being a social animal, he likes to have recognition and appreciation from others. So strokes is one way in which people try to get those strokes, that recognition. So that is analyzing those strokes is the final. So there are four pillars. The first pillar constituting of structural analysis and transactional analysis. Second is games, third is script, and fourth is strokes. So these are the different pillars. Now, when you speak about the structural analysis, as I told, this is within the person. So it is said that every person has three ego states: the parent ego state, the adult ego state, and the child ego states. That means every person, within every person, all three states are there at all points of time. So whenever there is a situation, one of these ego states will be active, and you will be interacting from that ego state. So, understanding this ego state and making changes as required is what structural analysis is all about. So, when you speak about structural analysis, the first ego state is actually called the parent ego state. So, when you speak about the parent ego state, it is actually a set of thoughts, feelings, and behavior that a person has learned, borrowed from a parents or parent figures. So, this is actually something which we have taken from our earlier generation. So, there are certain moral values, there are certain things that we have heard over the years, so which can have an impact on how you respond to certain situations. So, in the parent ego state, you will always be using all the things that you have learned or borrowed from your parents or from those people whom you see as parent figures. So there, there are certain things like, the first thing is giving advice. This is something which parents always do. So as we also belong to, when you are moving in the parent ego state, you also start giving advice. Sometimes you find even small children giving advice. Don't do this, listen to this, don't talk back. Please, all these things you may hear that even small kids say. So it is actually the giving advice is something which they have learned from, they heard their parents saying, you also repeat it. Then criticizing, disciplining, moralizing, nurturing, protecting, teaching, judging, making rules and regulations, all these different things are something which you learn from your parents or from people whom you hold as parent figures. So, all those thoughts which are in the back of your mind will be active when you speak from the parent ego state. The second ego state is actually called the adult ego state. So, this is a state where the data is processed, and this process data accurately to come up with solution to problems based on solid facts, reasons, and logic. Whereas when you move into the parent ego state, it is all the things that you have learned from your parent figures. Here it is purely based on data. Reasoning, logic, all these things are used, analyzed the data which is in front of you, and you make specific proper decisions. So this is what happens in an adult ego state, where the decisions are made logically by analyzing the data. Oh, this is why. Okay, these are the things that are there. Oh, this is why you behave like this. Specifically analyzing the data and then basic, and based on that you are responding. So using this, like what do, you plan, you check alternatives, you reason, you evaluate, you estimate the possibilities, you set limits. So all these are different things that you do in the adult ego state. And then the next is the child ego state. We have always heard that there is a child in every human being, however big this person becomes. So, child ego state is a state of our personality that is the seat of emotions, thoughts, feelings, memories, experiences that we have of ourselves from childhood. In the child ego state, there is no stopping how you actually behave. You do not think logically. You do not moralize. You do not listen to any advice. You behave spontaneously, just like a child. That is what happens in a child ego state, where you are responding to the situation as it is. So, in this situation, he shows anger, fear, rebellious nature, mood, curiosity, love, excitement, aggressiveness, violence. All these things are actually shown. So, in the child ego state, he behaves as he did, as he was in the earlier, that is, in the early childhood. So, when you look into this ego states, once again, we can see that there are three ego states. These ego states form the foundation of structural analysis, and these three ego states, parent, adult, and child. So, parent ego state are behaviors and thoughts and feelings copied from parents or parent figures. Adult egos are which thoughts and feelings which are direct responses to here and now. What you see, the data that is in front of you, based on that you respond. And the child ego state, the behaviors, thoughts, and feelings replayed from childhood. So these are the three types of ego states that are there. Now you speak about the second part of the first pillar, which is actually called the transactional analysis. As I said earlier, this is the part of transact TA wherein you are analyzing how two different people behave with each other. Structural analysis was within, the three ego states were within the person. This is how you actually respond to the person on the other side. So you may have the different ego states that are there, the parent, adult, child in you as well as in another person. So whenever the transactions are complementary, that is, when there are no arguments or problems between the two different levels, then it is a complementary transaction. In a complementary transaction, there is always, the communication will always go on and on, because there are no breaks in the communication process. So this can be, like from whenever, it can be from adult to child, or likewise, different combinations can be there. But in every complementary transaction, they are parallel in nature. All the interactions are parallel in nature. Second one are cross transactions. In the cross transactions, what happens is, when one person behaves from a ego state, the other person behaves from an ego state which will actually cross that specific unit of interaction. So what will happen is that there will be a break in the communication process. So the communication blocks. So you need to restart the communication process. So that is regarding the first pillar. So in this session, we are only speaking about the first pillar, which is actually structural analysis and transactional analysis. Both these pillars will help you, understanding these pillars will help you to respond better, in a better manner, to people around you. So when you're speaking about the advantages of TA, it improves interpersonal communication, because you are able to understand which ego state the other person is speaking from. Accordingly, you can change the way in which you communicate. So the communications are always parallel in nature. It is not crossed, and hence you will be able to continue the communication process. So, and it helps in organizational development, and can be used at home as well as in office, because in both these places you need continuous complementary parallel communication to keep the relationships better. And when you're speaking about the disadvantages of TA, since we are speaking about three ego states and all within a person, so there is not much scientific evidence to prove all these things. So that is all. So this is actually all a theory. But at the same time, understanding that theory, a better understanding of this theory will definitely help you to have better interpersonal communication. So that is all for now. Thank you very much.